Buongiorno.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, guten Tag.
Buongiorno. Parlez deux franceses?
Oh, not me, not today.
Ooh.
That was also not French, so neither do I.
Did you make that up?
That was like French Pig Latin or something.
Yeah, I made it up.
I like it. I believed it, whatever it was. So, Sia, thank you for having a little moment to talk to us. First of all, it's so funny because we're all like in isolation, and I was listening to one of your interviews about how you've kind of like been living this lifestyle for a long time, and it kind of worked for you. Is that true?
Well, yes, until today, actually. I woke up, I was like in a lot of severe pain. I have some chronic illnesses. I was in a lot of severe pain, and I asked my bodyguard who's in charge of my medications. I said, can you please help me and give me some medications? And then I took them, and then I went out into the swimming pools. Sounds totally pop star. I went out into the swimming pool. I floated for 20 minutes. And then it was like, has to be the beginning of my new life. Like I can't stay in bed for another 4 years. I've enjoyed it very much. It's been very reparative, and I worked a lot, did a lot of trauma work on complex PTSD and attachment repair. I was very suicidal during those periods. And then it was like today I got in the pool, the sun was burning down on me, and then my bodyguard was working out and he had his music on pretty quiet, and I said, turn it up. And he was like, okay. And this reggaeton is my new favorite genre of music.
Right.
And I got out of the pool and I was just dancing. Like I just danced on my grassy patch right outside my little spot, like my house. And I just danced on the grassy patch for about 10 songs. And I was like, I have to get moving again. I have to move. Like my body's suffering. It's atrophying.
I was just going to say atrophy because Sandy will tell you I've started doing push-ups and dips in the studio for the same exact reason. I can feel myself, like, again, nice break, but I can feel myself wasting away.
Yeah, that's what just started happening just today for me.
Well, and I think the best way you can get out of your head is to be in your body. Mm-hmm. And dancing is so therapeutic, and you probably just melted into those songs, and now you're like, okay, maybe I should do that more. That was nice.
Yeah, it was really fun. And so I arranged for him that we're going to do that every day at 12:30.
Oh,
great.
That's awesome.
You get to dance.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Nice.
I'm so impressed and proud of you, Sia, because like I feel like whatever, like as people, we have like chapters of our book of life. Sorry, I get and you have so many new chapters that you've just like added. You're a mom now, like literally mom to 2 teenage boys. I know you adopted them because they were aging out of the foster care system. So
yeah, how
has that been being a mom?
Oh, I'm a maniac. I'm a complete maniac. But I love it. I just adore it. I realized I've learned a lot about myself. I know I'm really patient. The red lip balm thing. I'm sorry. I'm talking to someone else. I'm like, where's my lip balm? I'm an addict. I'm addicted to my lip balm. Thanks. That was a real pop star moment just for you guys.
I love it. Give us more.
Yeah, I'm all about it. Are you wearing pants right now? That's the real question.
I was like, oh my God, where's my lip balm? It was a completely maniacal thing to do, looking back on it. But it was the absolute, I mean, my best friends just said it wouldn't be you if you hadn't done that. Like I hadn't met either boys the day that I took them home with me. And, some would say that's risky business. But I've just kept loving them, setting strong boundaries. And I think, it's been one of the most rewarding things ever. And I can see them, the lens of their conditioning changing, that the world isn't terrible, terrible place where only bad things happen.
Sure.
Better, watch out for yourself. And that they've started to experience this life that I have curated for myself, which is everybody's nuts. And compassionate and supportive and loving and cheerleading and they never. And so they're just slowly but surely learning how to trust that is real.
Yeah. It's got to be a lot like, so I have a 6-year-old daughter, and when she learns something or when she sees the world or something that I've known obviously my entire life, but she discovers it for the first time, it has to be a very similar feeling that you get when you see their kind of compass start to change or shift. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I didn't even know what a vegetable was.
Oh, wow.
Do they know your work?
They do, and they're both very. They don't tell anyone who I am. Yeah, they're kept, that because they're very protective of me, and they're very protective of just people, maybe wanting to exploit them or me.
Yeah.
From their background, and so they've been very extraordinary about. They just say my mum.
That's amazing.
It was really cute. The other day, one of them called me, and he's from a sort of trauma recovery center, and he's getting help, and he called me and he goes, "Mama, titanium! I didn't know that was you."
Yes.
Well, my friends used to sing that together, and then she was playing it to me, and then I put it on my YouTube, and then it said your name, and I was like, "That's my mama!" And then I was like, "Whoops!" And then and she was like, "What?" And I was like, nothing."
That's so great.
And then, like, my other son the other day was like, "I found my new favorite song of yours. It soon will be found," which is like from 100 million years ago.
Sorry, to the vault.
It's really very sweet. They're very proud, and it's touching.
That's great.
That's so sweet.
I wanted to get into another chapter. I want to talk about the movie that you have coming out, because you wrote it, you produced it, you knocked out 10 songs for the soundtrack.
Ooh,
How
yeah.
do you do that?
Another maniac kind of move. But I mean, it was all slow and steady. Sort of wins the race, the story just dropped into my head maybe about 15 years ago now. Then I started writing the script 10 years ago. Then that script wasn't up to par for me, so I started writing it with a different person, and that person was my best friend, Dallas Clayton, and that's the screenplay that we ended up using for the movie. And then we did 2 months of pre-production, 40 days of shooting, and then editing started, and I really wanted to go to sleep forever. When that
the exhaustion.
Editing is not my favorite. I loved every other aspect of it. I loved designing the costumes for the imaginary world. I loved directing. I love talking to my actors about attachment theory and what strategies that character uses. And it really worked for them. And it's definitely, I think it's their best work ever.
So this was in your head for 15 years. Is it just coming to fruition now because you feel it's the right time?
Oh, no, I felt at the right time when I shot it 4 years ago. But then I was having such a hard time of making the transition between the narrative and the musical sequences, which take place in the head of the title character Music, who's severely low functioning on the autism spectrum. And but within her head, she's unbridled by any of her disabilities, or some people will, say that being on the spectrum is a gift. But when you're very, very low functioning and you're suffering a lot of tics and a lot of bodily pain and an inability to communicate, it can be extremely frustrating. And that was the I wanted to write about. And so Maddie ended up playing that character. It was based on a kid that I used to go to AA with, whose mum was the sign language interpreter. And he and I had a special connection, and I just taught her all of his tics and idiosyncrasies and utterances and gait, his walk, and we worked together for about a week or maybe 2 weeks, and she just picked it up because she's a dancer. And in fact, that kind of movement is dance. It's like sign language is like almost dance. Well, so is some of the tics that come with autism. And so she was the absolute perfect person to play it. And yeah, she was afraid. She really was afraid. And I think I remember saying that on her first day of rehearsal, she came and I could see something was up. And I was like, "What's happening, honey?" And she was like, she burst into tears and she just said, "I don't want anyone to think I'm ever making fun of them."
Aww.
I was like, "I won't let that happen." And yeah, so when we got the movie to the Child Mind Institute in New York, where all of the, leading people and the autism community hang out, we played the movie for them, and they gave her 100%
Aww.
Great.
for her representation.
And what a pure thing for her to say, by the way. That's such a genuine, beautiful moment. Yeah, you must have been so proud.
I love her so much. I literally sometimes want to squeeze her till her head pops up and hit this. I love her so much. I hug her and I'm like, "Am I smothering you?" And she goes, "No, come closer."
Is she a daughter to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closest thing I have to a daughter.
Yeah.
And since she was 11, she's going to be 18 on September the 30th.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Isn't it?
I think we have time for one more question, Sandy.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Really quick, let's talk about your song Together. The music video is so fun. That song, it just makes you want to, it's an anthem for life. It's an anthem for this year. It's an anthem for pride. I mean, did it come out? Is it exactly the way you envisioned it? I mean, you see it on the Target commercials. It's so exciting.
That was funny because, again, I wrote it 4 years ago, and I also, we recorded the video 4 years ago, which is why nobody's wearing masks and there's no 6 feet between everybody. But I am a true believer, but it's after 20 years of being in the industry that things come out exactly when they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. I used to be very impatient and frustrated, like, I wrote a song, it should come out tomorrow. And I didn't understand the music industry and how people strategize and really just how much goes into putting out one song. And how many you've got 45 suits talking about a song, and it's like dancing about architecture. Just put the song out.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this case, I was like, I've learned, I guess, in the last 20 years that there's no hurry. If it's a good song, it'll stand the test of time, and it will come out exactly when it's supposed to. And in this case, it really did. It felt like it came out at the perfect time.
I feel like your song is giving the entire world a hug that we need.
Thank you.
I do. It's you cannot not feel happy. It is just a breath of fresh air, that song. In a world right now that we need to kind of just have some space from, to get away from the headlines that are so dark. Thank you.
Thank you. That's nice. Thank you very much.
Of course.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Talking to you, dudes.
Yes, you too.
Take care, and thank you for helping me promote my movie.
Oh my gosh, we're excited for September or whenever the pandemic lets us see it. So
yeah, after Tenet, that's what we're saying. IMAX theaters. As soon as Tenet's out, my movie, which I very confusingly called Music, is coming out. Take care, you guys. I have to pee again. Bye.
I'm gonna go pee. Okay, bye.
Bye.